As Manchester United prepare to take on Lyon in the first leg of their Europa League quarter-final on Thursday, April 10th, 2025, head coach Ruben Amorim is carefully managing a growing list of injury concerns while maintaining a cautious approach to player fitness. With the tie set to be a defining moment in United's season, Amorim is prioritizing squad rotation and health to ensure his best players are available when it matters most. One of the main talking points is the return of midfielder Kobbie Mainoo. The youngster has been sidelined since March due to a calf injury, but has recently returned to full training. While speaking to the press, Amorim suggested Mainoo could be part of the matchday squad against Lyon. He told BBC Radio 5 Live and Man U TV that they are being cautious with players like Kobbie. "We want to be careful again with our players, but maybe he's going to be in our squad." Amorim also addressed the situation of defender Matthijs de Ligt, who missed the recent draw against Manchester City after picking up a knock during the win over Nottingham Forest. While there is hope he could return soon, the manager confirmed to Man U TV before kickoff he has an injury. Let's see how long it is going to take. His absence remains a concern heading into Thursday's clash. Harry Maguire's situation is another example of Amorim's cautious approach. In an interview with BBC Radio 5 Live, the boss said, "Harry Maguire just had 60 minutes allowed from the medical department to play, so he's fit and ready to go. So we need to be careful on this." He further explained in post-match discussions, "It's not an injury. It's just that we had a time that we could use Harry without any danger. We cannot lose any more players. We have to try to divide the moments between the players." Speaking to Man U TV, he added, "After 60 minutes, 55 minutes is a risk, and we cannot risk any player in this moment." Mason Mount, who came off the bench on Sunday, may also play a role against Lyon. Amorim stated, "Mason Mount is ready to do whatever we want. Of course, we have to look at the minutes. Mount's involvement is likely, but as with others, his game time will be managed to avoid setbacks." Beyond those players, United remain without Lisandro Martinez, who is out for the rest of the season due to a serious knee injury sustained in February. Johnny Evans is also unavailable with a muscular issue. Amad Diallo is still recovering from an ankle injury, but could return by early May, while Aiden Heaven is expected to come back before the season ends after overcoming a less severe ankle problem. Fortunately, there are no suspensions affecting United's lineup for the Lyon tie. With Amorim carefully balancing recovery timelines and tactical choices, the Red Devils are hoping to field a strong squad capable of gaining an advantage in this important European fixture. In other news, Roy Keane blasted on Manchester United recent performance. "That's the desire I'm talking about. Manchester United need to find a way to get a result. It's got to come from the manager, the staff. They've got to get it into the leaders they have in the dressing room. They've got experienced players out there. Harry Maguire, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes. Do they get a grip of these players? We watch them at weekends, but I'm always intrigued about what happens day to day at the training ground. They get interviewed after as if a draw isn't too bad. A draw doesn't get you anywhere fast. This is not enough. This isn't good enough." However, the Man United boss said of his captain, "That is clear. But you look at other teams, and they have players who are essential. If you look at Liverpool with Mohamed Salah, the difference that he makes. Bruno is our player in that department. He's doing quite well. Everybody has to improve, and Bruno has to step up a little bit more next year because he has really big quality." Meanwhile, in the recent goalless Manchester derby, Man U TV pundit Ben Thornley praised the performances of two Manchester United attacking players who stood out despite the tough contest: Alejandro Garnacho and Joshua Zirkzee. Thornley was particularly impressed with Garnacho's improvement compared to his previous display against Nottingham Forest. He highlighted the young winger's energy, confidence, and ability to consistently trouble the Manchester City defense. Garnacho made an immediate impact early in the match, drawing a foul from Ruben Dias that many felt could have resulted in a red card. Throughout the game, he remained active and fearless in possession, winning 3 free kicks, seeing 2 shots blocked, and engaging in 8 duels from his 44 touches. Thornley noted that Garnacho's directness and determination added a much-needed spark to United's attacking play. Joshua Zirkzee also earned praise for his brief but effective cameo off the bench. Coming on for Rasmus Højlund in the final 20 minutes, Zirkzee managed to get involved quickly and even registered a shot on target along with another that was blocked. Despite having limited time, he managed to get nearly as many touches as Højlund, showing his willingness to influence the game. However, Thornley pointed out that Xerxes lacked support from his teammates to make a more decisive impact, stating, "He did have an impact when he came on as a substitute, but he just didn't have the people alongside him to be able to maybe give him those one or two more options." The pundits' comments underline both the positives and the challenges within Manchester United's attacking setup. While individual improvements are evident, particularly from Garnacho and Xerxes, the team still needs better cohesion and support in the final third to turn these performances into goals and victories. Meanwhile, Manchester United's young defender Leny Yoro has opened up about the intense and disciplined environment at the club under new head coach Ruben Amorim. Speaking on the Rio Ferdinand Presents podcast, Yoro revealed that Amorim demands nothing but full commitment from his players during training. He stressed that the Portuguese manager is quick to spot any sign of laziness and doesn't tolerate a lack of effort. "If you are not working, if you are lazy in training, he won't like you. He'll kill you," Yoro joked, before adding, "It's normal because, yeah, you play like you train." This no-nonsense approach has already had an impact at United. Earlier in the season, Marcus Rashford was reportedly dropped from the first-team squad due to concerns over his effort in training. Amorim made it clear that he would not select any player who wasn't giving their all behind the scenes. Yoro also praised Amorim's ability to communicate with his players effectively, attributing this to the coach's experience as a former player at top Portuguese clubs like Benfica and Braga, as well as his time with the national team. "He knows how to speak with you, and that's really important for me," Yoro said. He added that Amorim understands how players feel, especially when things aren't going well, and knows how to support them through tough periods. Since joining Manchester United from Lille in a £52 million deal, Yoro has been adjusting to life at one of the biggest clubs in the world. He acknowledged the pressure that comes with his price tag and the constant scrutiny from social media. However, he made it clear that his focus remains on working hard in training and enjoying the game. Yoro's comments provide a glimpse into the high standards and culture Ruben Amorim is building at Manchester United, a culture built on discipline, hard work, and strong communication. As the club looks to return to the top, Amorim's strict but supportive leadership could prove key in getting the best out of young talents like Yoro. Again and again, Manchester United have been tipped to beat Arsenal to Victor Gyökeres's signature. That is the view of Mark Lawrenson, who expects Man United to sign Gyökeres this summer if they make a concrete attempt. This is despite the fact that Arsenal have made him their primary striker target in recent weeks. Lawrenson said, "Arsenal signing Gyökeres would be the final piece of the jigsaw they'd need to win the Premier League. However, if the player is choosing between Arsenal or Manchester United, then I think he's choosing United, as he's got a mate there straight away in Ruben Amorim, and the manager already knows exactly how to get the best out of him. If Amorim wants him, he'll get him." On the other side, Manchester United are braced for a massive summer transfer window, with Ruben Amorim expected to overhaul the squad with players both in and out. United have reportedly been quoted a whopping £100 million if they want to bring England and Southampton starlet Tyler Dibling, 19, to Old Trafford. However, Manchester United have reportedly held internal talks over a potential move for Ipswich Town striker Liam Delap, according to The Sun. The 22-year-old has enjoyed a breakthrough campaign at Portman Road following his £20 million move from Manchester City in July. In 28 Premier League appearances, Delap has scored 10 goals and provided 2 assists, and with Ipswich facing relegation back to the Championship at the end of the campaign, he is being tipped for a move away. The Daily Mail claims that Manchester United are among the clubs interested. United officials held internal discussions over the potential transfer in recent weeks. Delap is also being monitored by the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle, and Manchester City, his former club. The reigning Premier League champions allegedly have a buyback clause for the striker, while United technical director Jason Wilcox knows him from his time at City's academy. He made his first team debut in a Carabao Cup clash with Bournemouth in September 2020 and received praise from Pep Guardiola. But the striker struggled to nail down a regular spot in the starting lineup, and was sent on loan to Stoke, Preston and Hull before joining Ipswich permanently. He is now being lined up for another transfer. Manchester United are expected to prioritize signing new forward this summer. Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee have struggled to meet expectations this season. Meanwhile, Marcus Rashford could make his Aston Villa loan permanent for £40 million at the end of the campaign. The Red Devils could also find themselves in a tricky situation with Jadon Sancho, who is currently on loan at Chelsea until June. The Blues have an obligation to buy the winger, but could pay a fee of £5 million to back out of the deal. Meanwhile, Antony is delighted to be away from Old Trafford and on loan at Real Betis. On his move to Spain, the winger said, "Wherever I go, I'll always speak highly of Manchester United. I am very happy. I found myself. I needed to find myself. I needed to be happy. I needed my family to be happy too. Every day that goes by, I see that it's the best decision I've made. I enjoy Seville. It reminds me a lot of things from Brazil. The sun, the food, everything. The people are also very warm. I'm very happy, and that's important for us as Brazilians." Antony has scored 4 and assisted 4 goals in 12 games for Betis. Elsewhere, despite impressing in recent weeks, Aston Villa will not make a decision on Marcus Rashford until the end of the season. Reports suggest they have the chance to sign him for £40 million in the summer, but the club are waiting until the campaign is over to access their financial situation. Qualification for next season's Champions League would supposedly guarantee Rashford a permanent deal at Villa Park. Additionally, Roy Keane has often criticized Bruno Fernandes and recently claimed he was not captain material. On Sky Bet's Stick to Football podcast, Dart sensation and United fan Luke Littler joined Keane and the rest of the gang. The world champion said Fernandes is his favorite player and claimed, "There's not a number 8 better." Keane replied, "As a player, yeah, but as a captain." Again and again, United chief Ruben Amorim has admitted he needs to turn things around at Old Trafford, and fast. The Portuguese boss watched his side fall to a limp 1-0 loss to Nottingham Forest on Tuesday night. Amorim said, "At United, you don't have the time. I will not have the time. We have to get it right fast. Here the pressure is too big sometimes. Sometimes you don't have time, and you should have time for these young players to develop. For that, you need a strong base." Meanwhile, Xavi Simons is reportedly being eyed by a string of Premier League giants, despite only joining RB Leipzig from PSG in January. Transfer guru Fabrizio Romano reckons Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea have been monitoring the Dutchman's situation. Romano believes the 21-year-old could be available in the summer for around £60 million, and the Prem is rated a probable destination if the exciting talent, who can play as a winger or attacking midfielder, does move on. Elsewhere, Red Devils lined with sensational De Gea U-turn. Andre Onana's form in the United goal has been much criticized, and David De Gea's Old Trafford exit in July 2023 has been lamented by some. But apart from an initial outcry, calls for the Spaniard to return have faded or been labeled fanciful, until now, it seems. De Gea, 34, spent a whole season out before rebuilding his career at Fiorentina. And Fichajes claim United are seriously considering coming in for the Spaniard over the summer. They reckon the Red Devils know his departure was a mistake, and they want to recover what they should never have lost. In other news, Lenny Yoro has sent a 9-word message to Manchester United fans after falling to defeat against Nottingham Forest on Tuesday night. Although the Reds lost after going into the game as underdogs, Ruben Amorim's side was the better team for most of the game. Former United winger Anthony Elanga came back to haunt the Reds when he ran half the pitch with the ball at full speed before placing his effort past Andre Onana. None of the United players could get close to him as he shrugged off a tackle from Garnacho in the final third. The result means United will remain in the bottom half of the table for the foreseeable future. Whereas Nottingham Forest strengthened their grip on a Champions League spot, United can respond this weekend when they host Man City at Old Trafford. One of the highlights from United's midweek game against Forest was welcoming 3 players back from injury. Harry Maguire and Mason Mount came on as substitutes in the second half, while Lenny Yoro started at centre-back. The French defender played reasonably well in his first appearance since United drew 1-1 against Arsenal on March 9th. Yoro has issued a message on Instagram to United fans, which shows he is keeping a positive mindset ahead of the Manchester derby. The 19-year-old urged his United first-team teammates to keep their heads up, despite suffering a setback at the City ground. Heads up, all focus on the derby this Sunday, Yoro wrote. Yoro's return comes at a good time for United because Amorim recently lost Aiden Heaven to a short-term injury, while Lisandro Martinez has been ruled out for the rest of the season after suffering an anterior cruciate ligament injury in his knee. Yoro is preparing for his second Manchester derby after winning his first 2-1 at the Etihad Stadium. The 19-year-old came off the bench to replace De Ligt in his first derby, but he will be expected to start this time around. Interestingly, United went into the last Manchester derby having lost to Nottingham Forest in the previous league game. The Reds will seek the same response by beating City on Sunday as they did in December during Amorim's first month in charge. City won't be defending the Premier League title this season, but Pep Guardiola's side beat Leicester City 2-0 on Wednesday night. They are looking for back-to-back league wins when they visit Old Trafford.